I started to cry in front of my parents because I could not hold it anymore. My dad was criticizing me again for my performance at school, and at this evening I let it all out. I just started to cry, to shout, because it was another additional layer of anger and of frustration that he just added, but it was one over the limit. That's why I just started to cry. And if you have similar situations where you suddenly just burst out, suddenly you just break, explode, it is because of suppressed anger and suppressed emotions. And I was at the same situation like you are. I used to be a depressed people pleaser with zero friends, no real confidence, and no girls into me. But today everything is different. I have confidence, I have the best friends I can imagine, and I enjoy beautiful relationships with girls. And most importantly, I don't hold these emotions anymore. I don't have the situations where I just explode suddenly, where I burst out crying or something. I don't have this anymore. And let me tell you this transformation is nothing magical. You can achieve it too, and I'm here to help you with it. And it all honestly starts to understand this process and understand that suppressing your emotions is much, much worse and much, much more harmful than you might think, and how much it actually helps you, your life, helps your confidence, and it just it improves your life so much when you stop suppressing your emotions. Believe me with this. I know what I'm talking about. So please stick with me. The problem with emotions is this. Emotions are like though it's like energy rising, you know? When you feel joy and happiness, you feel a good emotion, but you have this sensation, you have to smile, you have something in your gut that feels good. The same is with negative emotions. When you're angry, you feel like how tight you get. You feel this pressure in your stomach. You feel how your eyes are filling with tears. Those are like physical sensations of emotions. And you know it is an emotion because we all know what an emotion is basically. The point is this: often than not, like people pleasers used to suppress their emotions. Means they feel this sensation, but they don't express it basically. Like they feel a lot of anger and resentment inside, but they smile and they act cool. Why? Because one reason is because, especially in today's world, you say that emotions are weak. You cannot show emotions. It is weak when you show emotions. It's weak. Emotions are weak, you know. And the other stuff is like people pleasers. You want to please the other person. You want the other person to feel comfortable, to feel good. You don't want to bother the other person with your anger or with your sadness. So instead of like standing out suddenly when you're angry or when you're sad, you just do nothing. You stay neutral or you pretend that you're all right, even though you aren't. This is the big problem. By not disturbing other people with your own emotions, you neglect yourself. You reject yourself. You reject your own emotions. And why? And the problem with this is a huge problem, by the way, because you might think that when you suppress your emotions, they go away. Because, like, of course, when I express my emotions, when I feel them and I cry and I shout and whatever, the emotions are there. I don't want this. So when I just swallow them up, when I just repress them, they will go away. They will just disappear. This is a huge misconception. And it is a huge and dangerous misconception. It is known. It is known in trauma therapy and science that emotions do not go away if you suppress them. they stay inside the body. Literally. It might sound like some woo-woo shit right now for you, but it is actually true. Trauma is suppressed emotion. Trauma is suppressed emotion, and these suppressed emotions you don't express, they stay inside your body. And this is the reason why you have those exploding moments, because you think I swallow it all up, it will disappear. How can it be that there are those moments where you just suddenly explode out of control? Because it adds up. It adds up. All of those moments where you felt something negative, they add up, and you suppress it. They add up till there is this one point, and it does not have to be something big, it can be something very small. And suddenly you burst, you explode because you cannot hold it anymore. This is the consequence of suppressing emotions. They stay inside the body and they make you sick. Like, they make you physically sick. When emotions are physical reactions, they can make you physically sick when you suppress them. And I know, like, emotions are uncomfortable, especially like bad ones. You don't want to feel them. That's why we numb ourselves. We go on social media quickly. We watch another series on Netflix. We play video games. We eat junk food just to feel good, just to don't feel the bad emotions we have inside ourselves. And this is a big problem. This is a big problem. Imagine this. Imagine you have stored so much negative emotions inside yourself. Imagine you are so like filled up with this. And then your best friend comes to you and he accidentally spills you water on your trousers, let's say. It does not seem like a bad thing. Like, it was an accident. He didn't want to do it. It's okay. It will dry up. It's not so deep. But because you have stored so much anger, resentment, sadness inside yourself, suddenly this one tiny event will bring you to explode, and suddenly you start to shout at him, you start to swear at him, you say terrible things to him, you start to hate and resent him in that moment, and you're so furious and out of control. You cannot control it in that moment. And this leads to a big fight with your best friend, and in the end you are not friends anymore. Imagine this situation, and all of that happened because you suppressed all of your emotions all the time. This is real. It can really cost you, like, friendships and relationships. We don't want that to happen. We don't want you to get sick physically, and we don't want you to lose friendships or lose relationships with people you actually care about just because you suppressed everything that you were feeling. So how do we solve this? And it's very, very simple. You need to turn emotions into kinetic energy. I know I'm coming with physics now, but it is true. You need to transform the emotions. You have to alchemize it. You are the alchemist. You transform the emotions into kinetic energy. What does it mean for a normal human being who is not a physicist? It means emotions are energy inside your body. You feel it, right? There is something happening. In order to express them, you need to turn them into something physical. For example, speak about it. When you have an emotion, when you feel anger, for example, why is it so natural that people shout and get loud? Because this anger, it is a lot of energy inside of the stomach. By shouting, which also it needs a lot of energy to shout, they take the anger and let it out through their mouth. And what I'm doing right now, the way I speak, we speak, and there are waves into the air. It is literally energy flowing, air flowing through my mouth to the camera right now. This is what I mean with alchemizing emotions into kinetic energy. And you can do it by speaking it out. You can do it by shouting. You can do it by doing sports, doing something physical, like using the energy you have inside yourself to go to the gym and train hard, or to go running, or to do whatever. But this is a crucial point. I know this sounds like some woo shit. This sounds like, yeah, therapy, basic shit, whatever. It is so important. I cannot emphasize how important it is. So important it is. It is so important for you to feel the emotions, to sit with this discomfort and actually let it dissolve in itself. Because honestly, when you just focus on this weird, uncomfortable sensation inside of you, it will disappear after a few minutes. You just have to sit with this uncomfortable feeling a few minutes, shout it out, train it out, speak it out. Just a few minutes you have to endure this. And the benefits of it is that you will not have stored emotions inside yourself, which will lead to explosions, which might cost you relationships you care about, and you will feel better because you don't have this weight anymore. You don't have this negativity that is tearing you down, and you just need to be there, sit with it for a few minutes, alchemize it for a few minutes. It is like it is like the gym, basically. You can take this gym analogy. You go to the gym and you suffer to move the weight. You suffer. It hurts. It is exhausting. But what is the benefit? You build muscle. You get stronger. So with the pain comes a benefit, comes a improvement. The same is with emotions. And I know it is hard, and you have to learn to sit with your emotions. It is hard to express them, it is hard to speak about them. But the benefit of it, in comparison to the risk of, like, the risk of suppressing emotions is so high. Let me tell you this, and this is not exaggerate or a joke. People literally die because of suppressed emotions. They accumulate so much negativity and so much stress that they can literally get a heart attack from it. And they don't need to be old. Literally. This is such an important topic. And I really, really, please, if there's one thing you take from this video, is to take your emotions seriously and to feel them when they arise, because this is the healthiest and most human thing you can do. Emotions are part of our life, the positive ones and the negative ones. When you suppress them, you basically suppress the part of you that is human. I know it is uncomfortable to feel emotions, but it is so crucial that you do it. So please, sit with it and feel your emotions instead of suppressing it.